store owners say they're training their employees to watch out for old school shoplifting techniques like taking the shoe straight out the box, putting it into a large purse while shoplifters walk straight out the store unnoticed. Mississippi celebrates its bicentennial with a digital platform. All you have to do is take a smartphone and scan this QR code to learn more about the history behind the image. After putting Mississippi's workforce underneath a magnifying glass, Governor Phil Bryant decided to donate nearly $250,000 to a technology lab in effort to stimulate the industrial workforce. As you can see, the flooding in this area last night was so strong that today this manhole continues to float on water. After I spoke to a resident, he says when he came out his house this morning, he saw the trash can floating down the street. Right now, I'm in the midst of 30,000 people downtown Hattiesburg for HubFest 2019. With festivals like this, it kicks the economy in high gear. According to the Department of Labor and Statistics, Hattiesburg has over 3,000 unemployed people. But with job fairs like this one, those numbers are sure to change. I sat down with an emergency room doctor at Forest General Hospital this week, and he says right now there's an influx of people in the Pine Belt testing influenza positive.
Happy birthday to you.
This is some kind of a party. Oh, I didn't expect all this.
Cake, balloons, and gifts filled the room for Mr. Henry Pope Huff's 100th birthday.
100 is a significant milestone in anyone's life, and you look at his phenomenal service record, what he did for the Marine Corps, World War II, and Korea in the early stages of the Vietnam War, and what he did for Mississippi and Mississippians after his time in the service is just fantastic.
Huff served as a Marine Corps aircraft pilot for 23 years in World War II, the Korean War, and the early stages of the Vietnam War.
Flying aircraft was my life, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I worked hard and to be the best pilot that I could be, and sure enough, it paid off in the long run.
To celebrate Huff's legacy, family, friends, and the Marine League threw him a surprise birthday party, and Congressman Stephen Palazzo presented a congressional record of Lieutenant Colonel Huff's 100th year of life.
And I'd like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Huff for his honorable service to our country and our state, and I'd also like to wish him a very happy 100th birthday.
I say enjoy living and enjoy your age and enjoy your friends and never give up being happy. That's my whole philosophy.
Reporting from Hattiesburg, Allysa Cole, Fox 23 News. Hattiesburg police releases new details in the capital murder investigation of 63-year-old Deborah McGee.
Ultimately, I want the public to be aware that we do have the individual responsible for this crime, and he will be facing that penalty. And we will be moving forward for grand jury.
McGee was found dead in her home on Dewey Street on March 25th. She was well known in the community, a teacher at Antonelli College.
The last thing that I said to her last Thursday was, "All right, baby D, I'll see you Tuesday." And she was like, "All right, have a safe weekend." And I said, "You too, you do the same." And that.
Her students aren't the only ones taking her death hard. Her family is too, after her niece, Ebony Lambert, was arrested and charged with hindering prosecution.
That niece also had a child with another individual by the name of Andrew Presley.
This is one of the connections that led police to McGee's murderer, Andrew Presley. He has been charged with capital murder.
And during that autopsy, it was determined that she had suffered from several stab wounds.
Police say Presley will remain behind bars until he faces a grand jury for his charges. McGee's death is still a shock in the community, but her legacy lives on. Allysa Cole, Fox 23 News. Flash floods Thursday in Hattiesburg, causing creeks and rivers to overflow and flood out into residential areas.
This was something that was not expected.
National Weather Service reports Hattiesburg experienced nearly 8 inches of rainfall within 24 hours, turning streets into rivers. As you can see, the flooding in this area last night was so strong that today this manhole continues to float on water. After I spoke to a resident, he says when he came out his house this morning, he saw the trash can floating down the street from Gordon Creek overflowing.
In the front yard and the backyard was flooded. It was flooded up to the steps. Our trash cans were way down the road. But besides that, I mean, I'm glad we made it out.
Gordon's Creek runs through Camper Park and Park Haven neighborhoods. Most of the flooding spread into yards, porches, and driveways.
This is about as bad as we've seen it since we've been here, but it was just a lot of rain in a short amount of time.
Forecasters say more rain will move throughout Hattiesburg for the next several days. More flooding is expected to occur along the Leaf River and Bowie Creek. Allysa Cole, Fox 23 News.